Hello everybody. Just a minute, I'll make a little adjustment here to the camera because it's not quite better. Yeah, I'm just here drinking tea out of a fine mug made by my brother John Leach. As you can see, nicely toasted with a flashing here from the wood kiln. If you go to his website, johnleachpottery.co.uk, you can find this kind of pot there. These nicely toasted wood-fired pots, all kinds of shapes and sizes. So go there and visit, please. He's based in England, in Somerset, England. I'm just about to start some. Well, first of all, I thought let's have a bit of fun. We don't want to get too serious, do we? Not yet, anyway. But I thought what I'd do is just show you. You know, many people have too many tools in their workspace, and really you just need these 5 tools. You need a throwing stick with the right angle on the end here. Okay, that's important. You don't want it too pointed. You don't want this too thick, because this is also going to act as a rib that you're going to use for shaping the outside of the pot. So it's 2 functions it serves. So you need one of those. That's basic and important. You need a sponge on a stick. Here I have one. You don't want the sponge too wide here, because you may want to get the sponge down. For example, you may want to get the sponge down into a pot you see that you've made with a narrow neck. So you don't want something with a wide sponge. So this particular sponge stick is actually, it does have some calibrations to up the side here, just so you can use it as a measuring stick as well. That's if you don't have a ruler. Okay, so you'll need one of those. You're going to need a piece of chamois leather, and ideally I see lots of people's chamois leathers, and sometimes they're very odd shapes. Okay, and it doesn't help to have an odd shaped chamois leather. Some people say, oh, I don't bother, Simon, with a chamois leather. I use a piece of plastic, or I use this, or I use that. Look, just get yourself some chamois leather. It's the best. It's lovely and soft and smooth. Okay, beautiful. Choose your chamois leather though with care, because some chamois leathers they have a certain roughness to them. Like this particular one's actually got a certain roughness on the back side here, but on the other side it's really dead smooth. So the other thing is about your chamois leather, it wants to be, and I recommend you get a chamois leather and you get it so it's about 5 inches long. All right, and don't make it too wide. All right, it doesn't need to be more than 1 inch at maximum. If you have more than 1 inch in width of chamois leather, it becomes cumbersome and gets in the way. All right, you want to be able to use this quickly, efficiently, and you don't want it to get all, you've got to unravel it the whole time, because it's, so get it the right size. Do yourself a favor. 5 inches by 1 is what I find works the best. Okay, and I usually keep my chamois on the side of my water bowl. In fact, my throwing stick can go into my water bowl as well as my sponge on a stick. This is my water bowl that I use on this wheel. It's just a plastic, small plastic thing. I know it shouldn't be plastic. I should make myself a proper clay one, and I will. This is my needle tool, which is literally a needle, a sewing needle. Okay, so I don't put that in my water pot, all right, because it could stick in your finger. So I keep that to one side. And last but not least, I have a cut-off wire, which is actually, this one is made of nylon, and it has two toggles, one which is made of wood and the other one which is made of clay. This is a bisque-fired clay toggle. All right, so it's a little bit heavier. It's a little bit heavier than the wooden end, and I always keep the heavy end inside the wheel tray, just here on my wheel, just down here. You see, always keep that there. So try to keep a specific place for your tools. Don't just have them in a haphazard way scattered around your work area, so every single time you come to need that tool you can't remember where you put it, because every time you put it down in a different place. Put your tools in the same place so you know where they are. Wire goes here. Keep your needle tool just handy here. Sometimes it's convenient to stick it into a lump of clay. Your throwing stick, your sponge on a stick, and your chamois leather can go in the water pot. Now when you finish throwing at the end of your session, when you've finished your throwing at the end, you're going to clean up your tools and you're going to just clean up your workspace a little. Okay? Then you can take your tools out of your water pot, squeeze out the sponge, take your throwing stick. Okay? I've got here on the side of my wheel, just there. Oops, sorry, is that in the picture? Yeah, you can see there. Just to the right here on my treadle wheel here, I've got a little wooden shelf that I put here. So I'm going to keep my throwing stick there, also my sponge on a stick there, and you can even take your leather, okay, and just put it on the side, okay, so that it's not everything is just left soaking for days on end here in your water pot. That's not very good sense, is it? It's just going to cause these things to rot, not do them any favors. And every once in a while, it's a good idea, when these are dry, to take some linseed oil and give them just a coat of linseed oil over them, okay? It just helps to protect them. So there we are. So folks, there's just a few tips as we get started again with the new year. I'm not a very orderly person, and to be orderly and to do things in a clean and orderly way, it doesn't come naturally to me. I tend to be a bit untidy sometimes. So, but I try to keep my wheel area a little bit efficient when it comes to making and throwing. Those are just a few tips, and I hope they've helped you. Don't forget, keep practicing. That's the secret.